would have seen an interesting game in the last video. Sir has a movie in his mind. He just writes as many number of blanks as there are number of letters in that movie name. The persons who are playing with Sir has to guess what could be the movie he has in his mind. Just telling the blanks is difficult. See, even if you would take a movie name with 5 letters, say, then even for that you have a lot of possibilities. There are so many movies that could be available with 5 letters. So it is difficult for the person on the other side to guess what could be the movie he has in his mind. So he is given a flexibility. The person can say, I assume that this particular letter is present in the movie name. So he can guess one letter at a time. So he says whether this letter is present or not. He asks Sir basically whether this particular letter is present or not. A smart strategy would be generally to start with vowels, because mostly vowels will be present in any name. So A, E, I, O, U. With the vowels, if you start, you can open lot of blanks. You can open up and you can guess the movie name. That is the smart strategy generally they use. So for example, if I say A, I want to guess whether A is present in the movie name. So in case if A is present, the person who has posted the question will write A in those blanks wherever A was present in that movie name. In case if it is not present, he would say it is not present. You come up with the next guess of the letter. So this way, by unraveling each and every possibility of letter, you try to guess the movie name. This is how the game goes. Alright, we had just taken a few top rated movies from IMDb, that is the Internet Movie Database. So let us have a list of those movies here first as a part of our programming. Let us have the list of those movies. Let me have it as a list. The first we had was Anand. The second was Drishyam. The third was Nayakan. The fourth was Ande Sivam. So I have taken. The fifth is Golmaal. The sixth one is Vikram Veda. Sorry, it's Vikram Veda. The seventh one is Black Friday. The eighth is Dangal. The ninth is Manichitratalu. The 10th one is Tare Zameen Par. Tare Zameen. So maybe for ease of users, because we have to switch between caps and small, it will be difficult. So let me make everything in small letters. That's just for our ease. It actually doesn't matter. Maybe you can have all caps or anything as you wish. It's convenient for me if I have everything in small, so let me make everything in small letters. Black Friday, Dangal, Zameen. I have 10 movies. I have taken the top 10 from IMDb. You can take as many movies as you wish, or you can include your favorite movie as per your wish. This list is completely up to you. You can have as many, the ones whichever you wish. You can have it any way as you want. This list is completely up to you. So we have our list of movies. Now let's play. We will start our game. So this thing, if you would see here, it says undefined name play. So you say I want to play, but the computer doesn't know what to be done if you say play. So you have to define what is play. So you are defining DEF play. This is the particular syntax to define a new functionality. If I say play, these are the tasks that has to be done. You are defining it. So we will define what has to be the game. We will define basically what has to be done if someone says play. So here, let me say I have 2 players. As you had seen in the video, there were 2 players and one person was posing the question. Here, let me make it, the computer is posing the question. The list of movies we had given here already, the list of movies. From this list, the computer is posting the question. So just that is a change here, and we'll assume that there are 2 players who play the game. So this is a 2-player game basically. So we will have player 1 name. Each will be having a name. It will be good if you would refer them by their name. They'll feel a personalized thing of playing. The personalized play they could feel if you use their name instead of just calling player 1, player 2, X, Y, something like that. You just use their name. It would be good. So I have to input his name. So I input it. To get the input, I should give him a suitable message that please enter your name. So only then he can understand what do I actually expect in this time, and he will give the proper input. So I have to give the message, input message, that is for this particular message, read this message and give your input, something like that. What could I give? I can give player 1, please enter your name. I have asked his name. The same has to be done for player 2 as well. So let me copy paste it. I'm sorry. I'll copy paste this. Let me copy and let me paste here. The only change here is it's player 2, not the player 1 again. It should be player 2, and here too we need a different variable. That's why there is a warning that appears here that the same name, that there is a warning as you could see here. This warning appears because there are 2 things with the same name. P1 you had used earlier, P1 name, the same P1 name you are using earlier. So if I change it, maybe this particular thing will be resolved. And now this warning is because it is assigned but it is never used, but this will be used in the upcoming part of the code. So that would be taken care of, that would be fixed. This particular warning symbol that is appearing here would be fixed as the code proceeds. So let us start off with the next part. So for both the players, initially we will have 0 points. So let me initialize that. Points for player 1 is 0. Points for player 2 is also 0. So I have initialized, and if you would see, we alternate the turns of the players. Like maybe once player 1 gets a chance to guess the movie name, the next would go to the next player. This would be an interesting variant if you would alternate and we see who gets the highest score. Probably there are some other variants you may be familiar with. This is one of the interesting variants that we'll be implementing now. Alright, so to keep track of the turn as to who has to play next, we will have some variable called turn. So let me initialize, let me start the value of turn with 0. So why 0? Nothing special, it is the general practice in computer science to count from 0. You can start from anything. Basically what has to be taken care of is the turns must be alternated between the two players. So player 1 gets a chance now, the next must go to player 2, the next chance must go to player 1, the next must go to player 2, and this chain must be happening. So to take care of that, you can start from any value, only thing is you have to take care of the strict alteration, that is both must get the chance equally. That should not be the case that the same person gets chance again and again. That should not be the case. That we have to take care of it. That's it. So for that we have a variable turn. It's just the general practice of computer science to start counting from 0. That's why I have initialized 0. Nothing special. You can start from any value. So let me say the players are willing to continue the game or not willing to continue the game. So this could be the two states. As the player keeps playing, it is a two-player game, so we need both the players to play. In case if someone is not willing to continue, then the game comes to an end. So to keep track of whether they are willing to continue or not, so I would say willing. I'll keep a variable willing. Initially we'll have that to true because this is the start of the game, so let us keep it true, and as long as the players are willing, you have to play the game. So let me say while willing. While willing. So as long as they are willing, sorry, this could be even set like this, while willing. As long as both the players are willing, you continue the game. So this is how. Now here comes the actual game, and I said the turn has to be alternated. So say here I have started the value of turn with 0. You may start with any particular value. At the value 0, it is the turn of player 1. At the value 1, it is the turn of player 2. At the value 2, it is the turn of player 1 again. At the value 3, it is the turn of player 2 again. And this is how it goes. As you would observe, if the turn value is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on, it is the turn of player 1. If it is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and so on, it is the turn of player 2. So every even value of turn is the turn of player 1 and odd value of turn is the turn of player 2. How do we keep track of this even and odd values? There is an operator called the modulo operator. What it does is it divides and returns the remainder of division. So to check whether a number is odd or even, you would divide the number by 2 and check the remainder. For all even numbers, dividing by 2 would give you the remainder 0. For all odd numbers, dividing by 2 would give you the remainder 1. So we will use this concept and check whether the particular value is odd or even. So the turn has to be checked if it is odd or even. So let me check. If turn modulo 2 is equal to 0. Why did I use double equal to? Because single equal to is assignment, that is basically whatever be the value, I don't care, just assign this value, something like that. This is I want to check the equality. I want to retain the value and check it with some standard value. So for that equality check, I will have to use double equal to symbol. So if this is equal to 0, that is even value. The turn is even value. If it is even, then when you divide it by 2, you will get the remainder 0. So if that happens, if turn turned out to be even number, then it should be the turn of player 1. Okay, let me write that. It is the turn of player 1. Okay, so we have to first start off by telling that it is his turn. Print player 1's name you have taken, print his name and say that it is your turn. Player 1, this is your turn. Just say him the message. Alright. So what should we be doing now? We should randomly pick a movie from this list of movies. There is a list of movies with us. From that list, we randomly pick a movie. So let me say that it is picked movie. Picked movie is nothing but, for randomly picking a movie, you need there is a built-in library called random. We need to import it. Let's import it now. Import random. So this is a built-in library that would be used in order to pick something randomly from a given list or from a given range, something like that. For random selections, this particular library is used. So for picking randomly from the given list, we use a function called choice. It is defined in this random library. So I will be calling it as random dot choice. Within this, I need to pass the list as the argument. The name of this list is movies. So I will pass movies. So basically what this does here, from this list movies, you pick a random choice and assign that to picked movie variable. So you are picking a random movie. This is what is done here. Now, once I have picked a movie, I need to create the question. That is basically I need to give blanks, that many number of blanks. So here I will be simulating blanks as stars. So if the movie contains, say for example here in our 6 letters, say Dangal is the movie I had picked. It contains 6 letters. I need to represent 6 blanks. Here I am representing blanks by stars. So I need to represent 6 stars. So I should create the question in that format. So this is my picked movie is Dangal. For that I need to create the question. So I have to create a question here. So let me do that. Let me say you create a question for that picked movie. So that is, if the picked movie has some 6 characters, in my case as I had said, then 6 stars must be present. And in case if the picked movie, for example, say if it is something like Anbe Shivam, Vikram Veda, Tare Zameen Par, these movies have spaces in between. So the spaces must not be encoded by star. Spaces must be retained as spaces. Just the letters must be encoded as stars. So this encoding thing I have to do. This thing, let me say I have to create the question. So this is what is the task I have to do. Create a question, and once the question is created, I need to capture the created question. So let me capture it in a variable called question. So I had created a question. Alright. So I have, once the question is created and captured, I need to print it. Print this question. Print the question. And till now, the answer is not yet set. That is, the person has not yet said the answer. So let me say he has not said the answer. Not said. I will have a variable to keep track of whether the person has said the answer or not said the answer. So let me say this particular value is true. not said is true. Right? So as long as he says the answer, now we need to continue here. So I will say while not said, as long as the person has not said the answer, continue the game. So what should you do? You should ask him to guess a character. So let me take the input character. Let me say it as CH. Let CH be my character. Or let me say letter. That is a better intuitive name. So let me say letter. Letter. Input. I had to input the character. Your letter. This is an intuitive message, I feel. You can modify this message as you wish. That's never an issue. The thing is, as how the question will be posed and the person is asked to guess whether this particular letter is present in the movie name or not, that is what we are doing. So I'm just asking your letter. Please enter your letter. This is what I want. So I'm inputting that, and I have to check if that letter is present or not. So let me say if that letter is present of that letter in the picked movie. A movie was picked, right? So we have to check whether that letter is present in this picked movie or not. So if this is present, you have to unlock the blanks wherever the letter was present. That part has to be taken care of here. Else, it's a simple thing. So let me complete that first. Then let's come back to this part of unlocking. Else, what should I do? Print his letter, whatever he has printed, he has guessed is not found. This is the message to be printed. This is simple. So let's see till now. We input the name of two players. Start with 0 points each. We have a variable turn to keep track of who has to play now, and we have a variable willing to keep track of whether they want to continue the game or they want to quit the game. So as long as they are willing, we have to play the game. We first start with checking the value of turn. We first start with checking the value of turn here. If that is an even value, then it's the turn of player 1. Else, so corresponding else, let me write here so that it is not skipped. Let me write the corresponding value. It is in column 9, so I need to write the corresponding else in column 9. It's in column 9 now. Okay. Else, this is the turn of player 2. Okay. So once both their turns are over, what should we be doing is we need to increment the value of turn. That is, this person has played. Now this should be the turn of the next person. So I am increasing the value by 1. Turn is equal to turn plus 1. This is how I have incremented the value of turn. So this is the outline of our play method. We haven't completed it. It's just an outline. It's a rough idea of how the game will go. Maybe you pause for some time, look into the outline, understand the flow of the game, then proceed with it. Let's proceed with the missing parts here in the next session of this video. Thanks for watching till now. Please watch the next videos in order to completely understand how this program would work. Thank you.